Hey y'all, hi. So today I have this box of products that have come in PR, which means the brands have sent these products for me to review. Some of them I have already reviewed. Like I've talked about them, I've demonstrated them on camera, and some of them I actually haven't talked about on camera yet, but all of them I'm ready to reckon with, which means I'm ready to decide if I'm gonna keep them or not. I don't keep everything that gets sent to me for review. I don't even keep everything that I like because I try to keep an edited collection. I find that quality over quantity works better for me. I thrive when I have fewer, nicer things. I feel really lucky that I get to review things from time to time, this kind of thing. And it's certainly a part of my job that I enjoy, but it means that I have to go through things that have been sent for review from time to time and make sometimes some hard decisions. Because if I just keep everything without going through this thought process, then I end up with too much stuff. So that is what I'm going to be doing today, reckoning. If you're new to my channel and you enjoy this, I hope you'll subscribe. And now let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Okay, first up, a couple of items of skincare that I haven't actually talked about, and that's why I brought them down. I know right off the bat that I'm going to keep both of these. Skincare is actually easier to decide to keep because with products like this, I use them up or we use them up. And I'm saying we because the Versed sunscreen is one of Joe's favorite sunscreens. He uses a sunscreen every day, and so it's one of the products, it's one of those types of products that comes in PR that he has strong opinions about. Versed sent this to me recently. When I opened the box, Joe was like, yes, another Versed sunscreen. So I'm going to be giving this right to him and he will use it all the way up. Versed is a great drugstore or drugstore priced brand. This is a mineral sunscreen, which is a nice thing to have from a drugstore brand, especially one that tends to do pretty elegant formulations. It's not my personal favorite because it has a little bit of a tint. I prefer sunscreens not to have a tint like this just because I'm so incredibly pale. But I know that for a lot of people, this is what works the best, and that's true for Joe. It rubs in nicely, pretty much disappears, works well. I think this will be the third tube of it that he's gone through. And then I brought this down here because rèphr, which is the brush brand that I love, has launched this the most recently in terms of skincare. It's the Intense Hydration Cream. And this is a great product. I mean, I have very dry skin. It is so thick that usually my hand shakes when I'm trying to squeeze it hard enough to get it to come out because it's so thick. I mean, it's thick, almost paste-like in its thickness, except that it's lovely, right? It rubs in, if you want it to rub in all the way. If you put on a very thick layer like I often do before bed, it's a great barrier cream. Like all of the rèphr skincare, it's fragrance-free, essential oil-free, just really effective, simple, direct, and to-the-point formulas in really pretty minimalist packaging. And I actually brought it down kind of as a representative of all of the rèphr skincare because I can't remember if I've talked about it on here before. But I feel bad for not having done that because Joe and I use all of the skincare that rèphr sends. There's a second cleanser in a really beautiful pump bottle that's in our shower. Both of us use that. There is a lighter hydration cream than this one that Joe uses pretty much every night. There is an essence, like a milky essence in a pump bottle that both of us used every night until we used it up. I'll link it all down below though, and you can click through and check out the rèphr skincare. It's just, they launched it a while back. We've been using it for months and we absolutely love it. And I feel like I keep forgetting to mention it. So because this was the most recent thing, the tube was still in my purgatory box where, makeup and skincare that came in PR is in purgatory. And I know that I'm going to keep it, and I decided to bring it here so that I could hold forth not only about it, but about all of rèphr skincare. It's also quite affordable. That's the thing. I mean, rèphr brushes are very high-end and by necessity on the pricey side, but the skincare is not. The skincare is beautifully affordable and, very simple. Again, it's lovely that they've expanded. All right, let's talk about these two little eyeshadow palettes from Urban Decay, the Naked Smiley palettes. One of them, as you may know if you've been here, I think I can zoom you in a little. You're kind of far away up there. Yeah, that's much better. Sorry it took took me so long to think of that. So this is the one that I used in the recent video in which Joe rebranded my makeup. So if you've seen that, then you know all about this. Joe renamed it the Sundays Never Had eyeshadow palette. And I was totally unimpressed by all of these eyeshadows except for this bright yellow, which was actually pretty special and very effective. However, that one shadow isn't enough to make me keep an entire other eyeshadow palette. It's a little awkward because this tape is actually super sticky. I think the next time we do this, I'll use a tape that I can more easily remove, but I actually think that if I did remove it, it would leave behind a whole bunch of residue, even though it's only been on here for like a week or two. I think it's actually probably better for whoever I give this to that I leave the tape on and that they just live with it as the rebranded or the unbranded palette. I don't have a bright yellow like this in my singles collection, but I do have a mustardy matte from the Natasha Jodo Gold palette that I probably prefer. I'm okay with letting this go. And this is the other one. So this one was originally called Mucho Happy before it was called Sundays Never Had. And this one was called Chill Happy. I haven't swatched it because if I'm going to give it away, it's so much nicer to be able to give it away completely intact. I can tell just by looking though that it's that kind of unsatisfyingly pigmented metallic formula, two mattes that I don't really need. Happy Trap right here looks really pretty, but you know, I have eyeshadows like that. And I have super high voltage eyeshadows like that. So I'm not even going to give into the temptation to swatch it. I'll just give that one away untouched. And also because it's untouched, I could put it in the donate pile if I don't have any friends and family who want it. This is another piece of makeup from that video in which I rebranded makeup. Again, I don't want to peel it off because it'll be so sticky. The actual mascara is by Lottie London, and I think it's called the Fake Lash Mascara. Of course, how could we forget that Joe rebranded it to be called Obscura Blase, mascara for the casually indifferent. And I'm actually going to keep this for a couple of reasons. One, mascara, once it's been used, once it's been tested, it's not sanitary to give it away or to donate it. And two, I liked it. It was really buildable. I think I'll use it. I think I will make use of it for those super dramatic lashes. So I'm going to keep this one. Mascara also is kind of like skincare. Like you use it up within a short amount of time, like 3 months, 4 months, and it's used up and its life is over. So it doesn't tend to accumulate the way that makeup does. Other makeup. Speaking of other makeup, oh no, KOSAS. I feel like I should have put this on my face on camera, but I put it on my face upstairs in my room in front of my vanity mirror one time. One time was enough, and I also feel like everybody has already told you in their videos that this is a huge miss from KOSAS. I am disappointed and bewildered because KOSAS is a brand that I usually love. I mean, I have been so impressed by everything that they've done. I was expecting to be kind of blown away by this. I was expecting it to like rival Auric Glow Lust and Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin, but it is, first of all, a bit dark for being the lightest shade, right? A bit skin darkening on me. And second of all, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, just so metallically reflective and glittery. And the more you blend it out, the more you see like the glitter particles. It doesn't have that skin-like shine, that wet look shine. And it's so kind of sticky, and it sets really hard, and it sort of becomes this like skin on your skin that makes it hard for other makeup to sink in properly and penetrate and enhances texture. It's just like, I feel like it was a throwaway project, or like somebody's dad designed it at KOSAS, like somebody who kind of has an idea of what's popular in makeup but doesn't really know anything about formulas and what works well and what doesn't. This was like their first try. They were like, this will sell because this is the kind of thing people like, but it's just not on. I am not going to keep it, and I'm going to let this be the review of it because I don't think it's been a controversial product. I think it's been universally disliked. I just don't think that there's anything to be gained from like a full-on, full-face demonstration that would go beyond what I've been able to tell you here in words and just showing you what it looks like on the back of my hand. Goodbye forever, KOSAS Glow Ivy. Ugh, another kind of crushing thing. Cult classic, beloved, the Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. This is the kind of thing that I want so badly to love. I just always hope it will work, hope springs eternal, and it just doesn't. It's peach. It's really saturated. It's a tinted moisturizer, so I don't mean that there's a high saturation level of pigment in the substance, like in the carrier, because, you know, when you blend it out, you can see that it shears out. What I mean is that the balance of color in the product is skewed towards bright pigment, brightness of pigment, and doesn't include enough balancing tones of desaturation like gray and green for it to look natural on my skin. So there you can really see it blended out and how it would just turn me orange. This is a prime example of the lightest shade in a shade range being too saturated for a lot of people. Only the peachest among us pale people can wear this. And those of us with more neutral skin, more desaturated skin, olive skin, gray skin cannot. It looks so peach to me that it's hard for me to even imagine like my sister being able to wear it, or my mom, or like the family members, one of my cousins, the family members to whom I usually give this kind of thing, like really nice, almost but not quite base products, like things that I would love if I just wasn't quite as pale and desaturated as I am, because most of them aren't. Most of them have a little bit stronger of skin tone than I do. And you know, I'll shop it around. I'll see if it works for anyone. But wow, I just feel like they could use a little bit of tone adjusting over there at Chantecaille. Let's keep going with Chantecaille. There's this whole collection, and actually there were more of these lipsticks. I decided only to test thoroughly one of them and to give the other shades away untouched to some friends, and I've already done that. But I kept this one and I've been using it so that I could give a thorough review of it. But I'm gonna start with the powder products. So this is a recent limited edition collection from Chantecaille that is so beautiful. I mean, the packaging, it's so beautiful. And the pans, and even the colors. I especially love the sort of satiny sheen on this blush. But both of these are brighter than what I prefer. And because they are powder products, they can be totally sanitized, so they can be donated. Because they're so nice, I would love to give them away to any of my friends and family who do want them. So they will have happy homes beyond me, and I'm happy to let them go. This is the one that I demonstrated already in a video. And yeah, it was actually pretty pigmented. Remember, I kept that entire line, the Lotus collection from Chantecaille. That was like their holiday collection. I liked it because they were so lightly pigmented. It was really this like wash of seamless color and skin refining, like texture refining powder. I love all of those. These are just punchier. Like they're for people who want more of a blushy blush, and that's not me. So I'm gonna give them away. This eyeshadow Quartet, it's actually a little bit harder for me to part with because I love this color because it's like this silvery brown that looks really subtle on me. It's almost like no makeup, but it's a little something, but it's not. If it was a single, I would keep it in a heartbeat. But because it's not, and because I don't have a use for either of these top two, and I don't really like the overall visual effect, like Neapolitan ice cream effect of the palette, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let this one color go. I'm sure I have other things that will give me something kind of similar. And that means that I can give this away to somebody as like a complete thing. What I learned from it is that I do like the formula of Chantecaille eyeshadows. And again, I'll link the video in which I demonstrated this below so you can see me kind of discover that, and you can see the way that this looks on my eyes. But I feel like I've learned all that I had to learn. It's served its purpose on my channel, right? And it can go. This lip is the hardest thing for me for a couple of reasons. One, I'm more into strong lips lately. And here's what this is. It's a Chantecaille Lip Chic, which I've always thought was like sort of a glossy, semi-sheer thing, but it's turned out to be pigmented. It's like a lipstick. It is a bit glossy, but it really is a lipstick. I mean, on me, I put it on and I'm like, oh, I'm wearing a pink lipstick. And this is that color that's a little bit difficult for the camera to capture because it has kind of a yellow undertone. It's like a pink, a yellowy pink. Sometimes the camera catches that and makes it look just a little bit fluorescent or something. So I hope that you can get a good sense of it. Based on the way that it looked, just the surface of it looked when I first opened it, I was expecting it to be a little bit more of a mauve, more like Merit Baby. On me, it is very pink. It reminds me of the old NARS Catherine lipstick that I had. It leans almost like watermelon, the light kind of like watermelon or melon lipstick color that I used to wear a lot and that I don't really wear anymore. And I don't don't have anything this color in my collection, my lipstick collection anymore, because I feel like it makes a bit of a girl out of me. I prefer something a little more grounded, grungy, or something with brown in it. I find myself passing over this kind of color, and that's why I haven't kept anything. I think that there was a color in the Merit range that was a little bit more like this, a little bit pinker, and I kept Baby and I gave it away. It's giving me a hard time though because it feels really lovely to wear, really nourishing. When I put it on and I wear it around, I kind of like the way that my lips look and feel. I also feel like I've messed it around so much, like I've used it so hard to try to find out if I want to keep it. And because it's sort of this sticky, glossy formula, it's kind of gross. It's not going to be as easy to clean it up as it is with matte bullet lipsticks. And so it doesn't feel like as good of a candidate to give away to someone. And that makes it a little bit less appealing, giving it away, you know? I feel like if I keep it, I'll just be keeping it sort of on trial, and then it might be up for declutter in the next round. But I think that that's okay. I think that's what I'm going to do because spring is coming. I might surprise myself. I might end up wearing it a lot. And because I don't feel like it's a particularly lovely candidate to be a gift to someone in its current state, I think it makes sense that it'd stick around with me for a little longer, join the collection kind of on a trial basis. And together we'll find out if now that I'm much more into a strong, punchy lip, if there might be a little bit of a room for a melon-colored lipstick once again. It goes a little bit against the vicious minimalism that I've been cultivating lately in my makeup collection. And we'll see how I feel at the end of the video. But right now, I think that's going to be an okay solution. Okay, this is another one clearly that was in the Joe rebrands my makeup, that video that I always think of it as my husband rebrands my makeup because that was the original concept. I believe the title ended up being Joe has once again involved himself. So this is a blush from GenSee. Once again, the branding is covered up. I think it's called Coconut. I think that's the shade name. It's a lip and cheek, actually. As you can see, it's very rich in color, and I might even have put too much on here for you to see how lovely it can look on the cheeks. Oh gosh, yeah, in fact, that looks horrific. But you should click through and watch the video in which Joe rebrands my makeup because I actually was able to achieve a really lovely kind of bronzy cheek look with this. However, I don't really love a gel formula like this. And it felt a little bit fussy. It didn't completely wow me formula-wise. You know, it doesn't feel like the most formulaically elegant cream blush that I've ever tried. I did like the look from that video. I am not disavowing the GenSee lip and cheek because I think it is a good product, but I don't feel compelled to keep this one. So I'm gonna let that one go too. And this is the last piece from that video. This is kind of a funny situation. So this is the KOSAS lip oil, which I said in that video is definitely much more of a lip gloss. I don't know where they get off calling it a lip oil because there's just nothing about it that's oily. Well, I was able to get that little bit off the bottom without any residue. The shade name is Exposed, and I really like, even though it's a goopier gloss than I was expecting based on the marketing, based on the original marketing of it being a lip oil, I really liked the way it sort of made my lips glossy, but also kind of made them pale and kind of blend into my skin. I really liked it. And I want to keep it, but I don't like this black tape all over it. I'm gonna try to take it off. Wait, maybe it's not gonna give me as much trouble as I thought. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's coming right off. Maybe a little bit sticky. I'm also a little bit worried about these press-on nails, which I applied kind of in haste in advance of this filming session. Oh my gosh. Yes, it worked. And it came right off. Well, that means I might try to take the tape off of the other ones. Because what I was going to say is that I want to keep it and use it. I really like how it looked. I even noticed that I liked how my lips looked in the other video. So I filmed that video in which I applied all of these makeup products that Joe had rebranded. And then I went on to film a second video wearing that same makeup look. It's the one called How to Find Your Personal Style. But that video sat in the hopper for like a week, maybe even a week and a half before I edited it. Then when I was editing it, I was like, wow, my lips, I really love that shade. Like, what was that again? Like trying to remember. And it was this. So in that moment, I was like, I definitely want to keep that. I love how it looks. And then I was like, oh no, but it's covered in tape. So I'm really glad I was able to free it from the tape. I'm keeping it. Yeah. Okay, so that's what the Lottie London mascara really looks like. Super Fake is what it's called. So I thought that that tape was bad for this project, but it turns out it's really good for it. It's like fancy gaffer's tape, although this is going to be the final test. This is really turning into like a tape peeling ASMR video, isn't it? So the naked on the cover is textured, and when I first stuck tape over it, you could like read it through the tape. So I had to put this little folded up tissue there so that it would obscure it. Wow, I can't believe it. Good as new. Fantastic. Okay, back to our originally scheduled programming. The Merit Cheek, what are they called? Flesh Balm. The Merit Flesh Balms, the new shades. So I used these to film an Instagram reel, and I'll link that down below so you can see the close-up swatches of the colors. The only one that I've continued to use after that with any regularity is Stockholm, this one right here. I like a kind of bright, pale pink blush. And again, gel blush formulas aren't my favorite, but I didn't keep the one that they originally sent me because the color was just a little bit brighter than I would have liked in its shade as far as I remember. I gave it to my cousin who absolutely loves it, by the way. She's in college. She says that it's like her main blush. But this is just to say that I like Merit a lot and I think it's good for me. They're sort of like an it brand right now. I feel like it would be good for me to have one and be using it and just like get to know the product better so I can sort of respond to how the formula grows on me or not over time. So I'm going to hang on to this one because I feel like it's the most usable for me. I do really like Fox right here. It has a little foundation on it. That's actually very pretty too. So that's Persimmon, which is on the red-orange side for me. That one can go to someone else. And so can Après. I mean, it's very, very pretty, but I just will use my other blush colors more. Do I want to keep both of these? You know what? What I said before is still valid, that I feel like I should keep one so that I can keep using it over time and kind of report back in the far future about my relationship with it. But Stockholm is almost identical in shade to Chantecaille Happy, the cheek gelée, which is one of my favorite cream blushes. So I'm kind of duping myself color-wise with this one. I'm going to keep Fox and use it aggressively for a couple of months and then let you know how it's going between us. And then lastly, these beautiful lashes from BK Beauty x Risa Does Makeup. I don't really wear lashes. I just wanted to show them to you. I am really grateful to BK for sending these to me and for sending me their really, really good vegan brushes. I've actually been using them a lot. I've really integrated those brushes into my life. If I was going to keep one of them, I'd probably keep Martini. These little like corner lashes are super cute, just a little like outer edge. Usually when I wear lashes on those rare occasions, I cut them to be only about this size and I just put them kind of like on the outer half of my eyes. So this makes a lot of sense to me, but I would rather just donate these or give them away to someone who is going to use them like with total excitement and voraciousness, like someone who really, really loves to wear lashes a lot, because that's not my situation. So I'm really happy to be able to show them to you and I'm really happy to be able to give them away. Oh wait, there was one more thing that I forgot. Oh, this one's a little bit of a heartbreaker too. Jones Road Sparkle Wash. It's so pretty. This is like a classic reckoning moment. We know what's coming down the pipe. Just look at it. Just look at it. How can we live in the world with this existing? I feel all of my magpie instincts going pitter patter. I just want to keep it because I think that that's so pretty. The color, all the colors together kind of, you know? But here's the thing. That's not how it ends up looking on the eyes, right? It works really well as a little bit of an overlay, like tapped in the middle of the lid on top of something else to shine it up. But a thick layer of this all over the lids, like worn the way that the swatch looks so that your eyelids look the way that the swatch looks. It doesn't set sturdily enough to not crease throughout the day. It stays a little bit, it doesn't stay sticky, it sets, but then it just doesn't have the longevity that would be required for it to look like that on the eyes. So I have to recognize that it's a beautiful substance in and of itself. Just it itself gives me joy. But the thing that gives me joy about it isn't going to be represented on my face when I wear it as makeup. I feel like I can get the effect that it gives me, the actual way that my eyes look when I use it. I can get that effect from other things. So I don't feel like I need to keep this. As beautiful as I think it is, I'm gonna give this one away too. And I will link the Jones Road video in which I demonstrated that on my eyes close up. I'll link that down below in case you'd like to know more about that product. I think that it has good qualities. Like it is a lovely way to shine up your eyes and to layer with eyeshadow if you don't have anything else that does that. But for me, with a, pretty robust collection, all things considered, and a lot of shiny eyeshadows and a lot of shiny eye products, I don't need one more. So that's why I'm not keeping it. Okay, so there we have it. I put 16 things back into the box to join my official giveaway box. And I'm just keeping these 6 things right here. Of course, 2 of them are skincare and 1 of them is for Joe. The mascara, I also feel like it's pretty sticky to begin with, so it's gonna be used up pretty quickly. These are the 3 things of consequence. These are the ones that are like the kind of makeup that stays and stays and stays in your life, potentially for years. Like these are 3 items that I've chosen to keep that have come in PR that are just gonna add to the numbers of my makeup collection until I decide to declutter them or until I've used them up. Like these are the 3 weighty ones, you might say. And I feel pretty good about all 3 of them, especially the KOSAS lip oil. I think that I'm gonna be using that a lot. This one, time will tell. For both of these, kind of time will tell. It's almost like they're joining the collection in order to have, what is this bobby pin here? It's almost like they're joining the permanent collection in order to have like a continued trial, like a long-term trial rather than a short-term trial. That is it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It's been a very long time since I did an old school reckoning on camera. So let me know if you did and if you'd like to see more of this kind of thing. Thank you for watching. Thank you especially for commenting and liking and being subscribed if those are things that you do. And I hope that you are remembering to take extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.